Our talk today is entitled The Welcoming Father. As we look at Luke chapter 15, it is important to realize that the prodigal son did a number of things that reduced his self-worth and devalued him. The good news, however, is that this young man came to his senses and decided to go back home. And when the prodigal son finally returned home, his father sought to add value to him. His father sought to restore his self-esteem. His father works hard to restore it to his son. Here are a few things that the father did to add value to his son. And these are the things we can do, friends, to add value to those around us. Number one, you realize that the father had compassion on his son. Compassion has to do with identifying with the need, with the struggle of somebody else and doing something about it. It's not just being sympathetic, but it's being empathetic. And this is what we read in verse 20. So he got up and went to his father, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son and threw himself around him and kissed him. His father is moved by compassion. Friend, when we see people who are going through struggles and challenges in life, and we purpose to reach out and do something about it, we are showing compassion. I pray that we shall be a people who show compassion to others. When we show compassion, we add value to those people whose lives have been devalued. We add value to those people whose self-esteem has been crushed and reduced to nothing. Well, apart from having compassion on his son, the father to the prodigal son was also very cordial in dealing with him. Being cordial has something to do with being friendly, being welcoming, making somebody feel comfortable. And this is what we read in verse 20 to 22. So he got up and went to his father, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. But the father said to his servant, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet." Very welcoming, very friendly. The best robe was basically saying, hey, you are coming in as part of the family. You are not a servant. I will give you the best robe. The ring, sign of authority. You belong here. You have authority in this home. You are more than a servant. He's so cordial. He's like, where are sandals for my son? He's not coming here as a servant, as a slave. He is coming as a son. He is being received. I'm being cordial to him. I am being welcoming. I'm being friendly. Yes, the father to the prodigal had compassion on him. He was cordial towards him. And lastly, he celebrated the young man. He celebrated the son. Celebration has to do with doing something or saying something special to show that someone or something is important. Celebration has to do with partying, merry making, rejoicing, feasting, jollification, and stuff like that. And this is what the father to the prodigal son says as he celebrates his son back home. In Luke chapter 15 and verse 23, bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let us have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. Verse 32 of the same chapter, the father says, but we have to celebrate and be glad. We have to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. There is celebration in the house as the young man goes back. Friends, when is the last time you celebrated those around you? When is the last time you actually remembered somebody's birthday? Those that are important to you. When you celebrate people, we add value to them. And friend, we need to learn to celebrate other people in our lives. When is the last time you celebrated something major with your family members, your colleagues, your neighbors, and stuff like that? And by the way, it's important to just celebrate people, not because of their achievements, but just the fact that they are alive. I guess most of us are quick to notice negative things in people than positive ones. It's important to realize that people respond better to compliments than complaints. Friends, we can add value to people's lives by having compassion on them, by being cordial with them, and by celebrating them in word and in deed.